Hi. I'm so happy to be back and do this stuff again because I've had so many ideas, so much going on through my head about what to draw and what I was going to do when I was going to get back. And then um, my brain kind of just flatlined before starting the stream. And then I remembered that I needed to eat, and I remember that I needed to finish doing laundry and feed my offspring, as well as my fur child, who then decided to discover um, her or bench press and use it as a scratching post. So it's been a bit of a head to start, but back at it again. Um, Let me remove that. There we go. So, uh, quiet doodles. Shorter. So full disclosure, I haven't really updated most of my stuff. It's been, this hiatus was not a vacation. I can say that much. So let me see if I can edit this really quickly. Bam. Time to draw again. Yeah. Let's see. I'm back at it with the doodles. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. 8:30 p.m. Yeah, that is currently the schedule. I'm at some point I'll go back to a full 2 hour stream. Maybe even starting earlier. But so a couple of updates since I think the last time I streamed. I'm actually gonna see if I can look really quickly at my channel history. Well, how do I even do that? There we go. Channel. Here we go. What was the last time I streamed? What did I do? I don't think you can see it. Can you know? I think it's been. Yeah, I'm streaming to multiple platforms. I'm streaming to YouTube and I'm streaming to Twitch. Um, and welcome, by the way, to the channel. But I'm streaming to both because as much as I like streaming to Twitch, just because of, I feel like as far as streaming is concerned, Twitch is a pretty user-friendly platform. But unfortunately, a lot of the people that have, uh, particularly family and friends, not everybody's on Twitch. I am an older soul, and I'm physically an old fart. So a lot of my friends are more like a YouTube stream kind of crowd. They would definitely prefer an Instagram stream, but I've the headaches I've suffered trying to stream to Instagram. Um, I don't want to do that again. So I'm using Restream to stream to both Twitch and Instagram. I mean, not Twitch and YouTube. And I'm hoping, or not, I'm hoping. Well, unfortunately, after I understand how bad YouTube and not YouTube, Twitch can be for streamers overall. The fact they sort of decide to own your content after you reach a certain threshold. Now, I'm nowhere near that. And I guess, yay. But I guess at some point I'll have to stop streaming to Twitch just because I don't want to be. For me, it's just a pain in the butt to have to focus on recording and uploading. Like, I already do very little of that to my social media profiles or my own personal portfolio. So, the least work for me on this, the better. But that's right. I was looking at the last stuff I did, and I don't think I can see that on Twitch, mainly because it's been some time, and I know Twitch after a while it sort of gets rid of your of the stuff that you stream. So let me go really quickly. Nope, wrong one. Stop it. stop. YouTube, you're breaking my heart. There we go. Manage. Oh, yes, that is live now. Okay. 2 months ago. Wow, my last stream was... Oh, well, but I did stop streaming. All right. This is not an accurate portrayal of where I was at last time. I did stop streaming on YouTube when I went on my hiatus. And my hiatus was due to my personal day-to-day 9 to 9 job. So, first things first. I know I did start showing this before I went on hiatus. And this is a t-shirt design that I made myself for my daughter's 13th birthday. And I'm happy to say that not only that this was the preliminary design that I worked with, but this is the final design that ended up getting printed on shirts. I was so excited. We did shirts for me, for my partner, and for her, so we could be matching on the day of the birthday party. And I kind of took on a little too much. I was hoping to make stickers out of these, and to like tattoos. I bought the paper. I was so ready to go, but I didn't have the time. However, that's not off the table. I'm still very excited and very ready to put these on stickers and to make them into some sort of thing that I can put on everything. I'm really I'm really looking forward to at some point put this on like my car. I really want to put that cat licking its butt on my car. Like, legitimately excited to put that cat licking its butt on my car. But yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to pushing this a little further. I may print this as a postcard, which is something that I'm also looking at in the future. Let me disregard the extremely messy desk. It's live, people. Okay, we make mistakes live. I bought this. Got really nice large format Epson paper, so I can do like an entire sheet of postcards at once. I have cutting tools ready to go. Hunter behind me. I have a bra behind me, so I'm gonna remove that. Yeah, look at that. I have food containers. God, I'm an entire mess. This is supposed to be a craft desk, everybody. It's more of a craft desk. But we persevere. Anyways, anywho's, that's not a word. That's not even a thing. But oh, and by the way, I know I have the music playing and I hear it loud in my ear holes. If it's too loud, because I'm not seeing feedback right now on the audio, so I'm putting it up. But if it's too loud, let me know. I'll lower the audio. So yeah, this is what I was working on. Let me see if I can do a quick little time lapse replay. Yeah, this is me like sort of finishing the design. I guess it didn't carry over. I thought I had duplicated the file, but essentially I really wanted this to sort of like look like a tattoo. And my gosh, Procreate is just not fun to do text in. You can definitely plan it, but not a final thing. Like I had to draw it, take it over to Photoshop, sort of like mess with it for a bit until I finally got what I wanted. Oh, and so I did add these for the invitation because we ended up doing it, and that's as far as I'm gonna go because I'm gonna dox it. We ended up doing it at an arcade, which is amazing. Arcade Odyssey here in South Florida, in Miami. It's actually in the Kendall area. Amazing, amazing arcade. An arcade for adults, for the older crowd. But she's a teenager now, so celebrating like a teen, I guess. But it was so much fun. I absolutely love that place. I've been there before. Like this wasn't our first time going, but what a fun arcade. Old school games for people like me. New school games for pretenders like me. who like to pretend that I'm not getting old. Uh, Fantastic, great quality DDR machine. If you're into that sort of thing, they have Pump It Up. They have that cool dance game with the floor that lights up, and that just looks so cool. So this was, yeah, that arcade is like sets sets the bar. Like Dave and Buster's who? Who's Dave? No, what a great arcade. I mean, my favorite part, if you have and enjoy Groupons, my favorite part was being able to cash out all of the 3 Groupons that I purchased for tokens all at once and just go around with this giant bag of tokens for about 2 or 3 weeks before the birthday party, just carrying them around the house, feeling like a little hobgoblin with my treasure. But it was so much fun. Super excited to get back there because I'm definitely going back there. We have a lot of tokens left still. Pinball. Oh God, I love pinball. That's my thing. Pinball's my thing. And rhythm games too. It's just really fun. I hadn't been there since before the pandemic, and they added the taiko drum game. So fun. If I don't speak Japanese, I don't read Japanese. I can't even pretend to. I can't pretend to. I can pretend. I can definitely pretend to speak Japanese, but I had to pretend to be able to do that one because I could not read what was going on. But somehow I figured out which one was the theme song from Dragon Ball and the theme song from Cowboy Bebop, and those are so much fun to play. On to the next thing. This was a drawing that I did sort of quickly. I was super stressed out with work. And if you don't know who, I guess she's changed her name for this account, but Plan Mom Dawn on Instagram is, I highly recommend that you follow her. She's really great cartoons and really good content on Instagram. And I think she's on other platforms. And she has a Patreon. Great comics. But she sort of came up with her super mom sona. So I asked Katie, like, if I had superpowers, what would they be? And she didn't disappoint. I don't know. She totally has way better expectations of me than I have of myself. That's for sure. But she thinks that I am invincible, and that's so sweet. It's just I love her. Not because she thinks highly of me, but because she, regardless of all, she's still my baby. Still my baby. What's this? I don't know what this is. Let's figure it out. Okay, so this was this is definitely the last thing I worked on before I went on hiatus. So I wanted to draw a postcard design of the Everglades, or I just like something Florida. Like I wanted Florida postcards because and the reason why I'm into postcards is because my boyfriend is into postcards and he likes collecting postcards and he likes collecting stamps, or not collecting stamps, but my dad was a stamp collector. So the hobbies sort of there tied in. I have laid claim above my siblings to that stamp collection. I don't know if it kind of works like dibs. I know I called it first because obviously I'm the oldest, so I did it. I don't know if it's gonna hold in court, but I'm really hoping I can get those stamps way down in the future, not anytime soon. Not at all. But in the meantime, I get to obsess over my boyfriend's postcard hobby, and I accept it as my own. And one of the things that we notice is there's just like really a very low supply of postcards now. It's just not what it used to be. Most of the postcards now are like very cheesy, touristy postcards. It's if you want very nice illustrative postcards, you're probably gonna have to go somewhere online. But it's not like you can go to like a store or a guest center and pick something that isn't just like greetings from blah 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 and just a generic stock photo. So I know this image is very common. It's not, I didn't come up with this layout. Definitely not. But I sort of wanted to do my own take on it. And this is what I have so far. And I don't like it. at all. Uh, not because it doesn't meet sort of my quality standard. It's just it feels like it doesn't have any sort of ongoing style. Like it's not everything feels like cobbled together. I really like what's happening here. Like this grass patch. I'm in love with it. I really like what's happening here. But I feel like I'm putting way too much detail in these tiny areas and not really focusing on what's happening in the general scheme of things. And to be honest, I really kind of like my initial sketch. So I'm going to redraw this. Not yet. I do want to review, part of my ongoing search and struggle as an artist for the past year or so has been sort of just to like unify my style and really select this is how I draw, right? Like this is my art. This is what I want it to look like. And in that respect, like, let me see. This is the reference. These are the reference images that I had selected for this photo, but let me see if I can pull up. Okay, so this piece right now that's on screen, I love how that came out. Probably one of my favorite drawings in a while, like it's back there. And it really sort of exemplifies the route that I wanted to take with my works, which is a very vintage print sort of style. It's not the only thing I'm going for. I'm going for something like that on screen right now too, which is very pencil textured. Look, I like both of them. I'm not gonna stick to one individual way. And for example, what just came out too, it's this one. No, not that one. Oh, is it on random? Oops. Hold on. Randomize. There we go. Let me take that out. I want to make sure transform. Edit transform. See if I can. Oh, oops. You guys can't see that. I hope not. There we go. Oh, that's why I can't move it. It's locked. Okay. Let me make it. I'll make it bigger so we can discuss what's happening here. All right. This is sort of like that piece. Like this was right before that one, and it's sort of built up into that direction. Since then, I've done, let me see, these are older. I've done this piece. This is more of that illustrative pencil work that I wanted to do. Looks like the art from the Highlights magazine from way back. Oh my God, what a compliment. I love those magazines. Yeah, I really like those magazine illustrations, and that's sort of what I go for. I do have a lot of reference here that I look at, and not just here on Instagram too. There's a lot of artists that I follow that I really look up to and really are inspired by. But I really wanted to hone and keep it to like one style, because I sort of ping pong everywhere, and every time I start something, I'm like, well, how do I draw again? Like, not that I don't know how to draw. It's just like, which one? Like, how am I gonna do it this time? And I've even had to make like little style sheets for myself and sort of like use this color, use this for darkening, you like start from dark, work your way to light, or start from a medium and then add shading and then highlights. So just so I can sort of be consistent. And I didn't consistently use that list, and I didn't consistently keep it up. So now I'm back at this sort of, not starting from zero, because I've done a lot of the groundwork the past year and a half or so, but I sort of have to regroup myself. This was a piece that I started and I worked on at a time where things were very hectic, so I'm not surprised that I kind of got lost in it. But I am hoping that in the next couple of days I sort of get back to something that I really like. You see, I think, yeah, so that's sort of like illustrative sketchwork. I love how it looks. That too, that print work, almost like a lithograph. I love doing this piece. This piece was inspired by a vintage postcard. It was a gift for a Secret Santa. And believe it or not, the original postcard that inspired this had the same exact message and almost looked the same. I mean, obviously it was in a different style, but it was a snow goblin golem coming out from under a tree and scaring a person. I just turned that person into Santa Claus. I made it more Christmassy than it originally was. But the other one also said, "A jolly Christmas," while this man was terrified. So I don't think I have the reference for this one. I mean, I probably do. I don't want to have to look for it right now because it's gonna take some time. But this is the kind of work, like this is like a nice, in my opinion, a nice blend of the two, like penciled and vintage illustrative styles. I think this is what I wanted to go for in this postcard design. This manatee postcard design. And I'm hoping like to rein it in a little bit. I have the colors down. I know my palette. I know the palette that I'm working with. I just have to do like sort of tighten the line work before I go into it. Catching up. Wow. I could go on forever. But that's not what I'm here to do today only. It's nice to catch up. But today we're going to draw. And I actually have a special sort of way to kick things off a little bit. So I have a friend who recently started collaborating with someone on Instagram that's blown my mind because she has created her own original character. Where did this be? Show and finder. There we go. She has created her own character and her own characters inspired and based off the magical girl theme. Aside from the fact that this woman is beautiful, just straight up gorgeous. She's created this sort of storyline that's just, it's been so fun to watch and catch up on Instagram. I know she does this primarily on TikTok. I don't have TikTok. So that's been a little difficult for me to be able to follow up until recently. She recently sort of I guess finished updating and adding the last of the stories or the last of the updates on the storyline. So I've had so much fun trying to catch up on it and trying to understand what's happening because it was a little bit choppy for me. I kind of jumped around her Instagram for a while, but let me get the photos up because they are just so cute. Here we go. So this is her. Let me look at her. My God. Let me start with a regular paper size. There we go. Let me move this a little lower here. It's not so intrusive. So this is her character. And here are the other two co-stars of her Instagram saga. And I don't want to ruin it, so give me 2 seconds while I pull up the names. So her name is, I think the main character's name is Melody. And then these two characters are, let me zoom in. Calliope and Celeste. This is my friend Laura there. Who, when I saw her, I was like, I have to draw you. You look beautiful and magical. How could I not? I mean, when your friends are looking that good, can't ignore. So I wanted to do a quick sort of like fan art drawing, definitely inspired by some vintage works. I wanted to do because I'm sort of new, I'm definitely new and recently started sort of following through. I don't want to mess up on the characters. Not yet. Give me time. So, but I do want to bun mirror. There you go. The bun mirror. Look her up. I do want to draw her in sort of like my own outfit, inspired by an outfit that she wore in one of the posts where she's describing and showing off her character. I think when she's like first introducing the character on Instagram, I think that's where the images come from. Let me see if is that I get lost while looking at her photos. They're mesmerizing. It's such a cute character. And to me, like I grew up watching Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon was my life as a growing child. So to see someone that said, yeah, I can do that. I just went for it and has created this entire storyline, and it's just I'm so in love with it, with the character, with what she's done, with the whole thing. You know what? I'm not finding it, but so she does have it's somewhere. Oh, that's right. It was the story. That's why I can't find it. Oh, can I not look at stories on Instagram on desktop? I think I can, right? Yes. Okay. So. Whoop. So she has this version of Melody here, dressed up in this adorable little dress and hat, and I'm thinking like, okay, they're gonna be in a picnic because that's just what's gonna happen. This is what we're doing. It's happening. So I'm gonna take them on a picnic. Let me take a screenshot of this one really quick. Oh no, the image changed. Right before it, there we go. Here we go. And I wanted to see if I could pull. I know I had looked at a couple of postcards from our personal collection that I wanted to use as reference, but I should have scanned it. I didn't scan it. I could have taken a picture, but I put it back and now I can't remember. So I'm gonna see if I can find something similar. It's not that I want it. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so this is, I wish you could like find the artist, the original artist, and credit them appropriately, but for most of these are just images that you find from postcard resellers online. And obviously I'm using this because, you know, bunnies. And I just want something to help me sort of figure out the layout. Illustrated by Racy Helps, published by the Medici Society. There we go. I think. Wow, they do let me put text. I wasn't sure. Sort of. Okay. Let me put that here.
All right, let's bring that beat back.
Okay, let's bring that beat back. There we go. I just try this like just to see what would happen. The application, by the way, that I'm using for my references is called PureRef, and they are incredible. So this is, let's get started. Can I get started? No? Oh, there we go. Bring my iPad down a little bit. And let's use, by the way, if you use Procreate, recently they added the feature where you can create a bookmark of a size by pressing plus, and my gosh, what a smart idea. But I don't want that. How do I? There we go. Remove it. It works so well. I love it. Okay, that's. Oh, that's something else that I worked that I didn't show, and that's okay because I actually had to sort of sort through all the images that I made, but recently finished a giant commission that I worked with another friend of mine who is a graphic designer. She's the one that reached out to me. I illustrated a ton of cats that she's gonna put together and make some educational content for a cat behavioralist. I'm so excited to get on that. It took a long time to sort of figure out everything that she needed with regards to like what she was gonna use the content for, and how much she needed. But I'm so happy I did that. Really got to draw a lot of cats. That was very fun. This was before even I did the shirt, so that sort of like got me thinking. I was like, I'm gonna draw cats. That's how I decided to draw the shirt. Okay, so I do want a sort of lower the opacity here. I do want to almost like an isometric layout for this. And I have an alarm going off. Give me 1 second. My laundry is done. I'm just gonna make a quick announcement to the household. All right, there we go. So I do want this sort of like isometric layout. I'm gonna draw them sort of, not quite, like a chibi style, like a very cute sort of childish, simple style. So I want to do. I'm trying to think just with regards to the characters' personalities. Again, I'm fairly new to the series, and I am caught up in the sense that I've watched the most recent ones. But there's a lot of background that I know I need to sort of understand. But I'm trying to at least pick poses for the characters that will be relevant to their personalities as I've sort of understood them so far. So I'm hoping to do that, at least to do them justice. And as far as the main character, she feels like, or come off for me like a very intelligent and sort of like having this mischievous smile and just like a knowing personality. Not like Serena from Sailor Moon. Not this aloof, very ditzy sort of princess who I personally relate to, but I don't think it's as we get into the subject of discussing Sailor Moon's role in society. I think as great as a role model as the series was for girls growing up, seeing characters as superheroes and whatnot, she wasn't particularly someone you should look up to, in my opinion. I think she's cute. I think she was relatable because I felt like her a lot. But at the same time, I sort of looked up more to Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Mercury as characters because I felt like they had their shit together. I wanted to have my shit together. While at the same time being silly and playful and gotta look at my own art for reference. This is the quiet part. This is the part that I'm a little more quiet on. But yeah, Melody definitely comes off as a more refined character. I hope I'm right. Don't want to mislead or misrepresent. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. See what I'm doing wrong here. Uh, uh, uh. I have to figure out how I'm gonna draw the nose without like making just the area too busy. Maybe I'll have to draw them a little bigger. Or work with negative space. Or color. I think that dress has like poofy sleeves, and I think I want to keep it, and if it doesn't, it does now. This is one of the things too that I really want to keep from or that I really want my style to be. And that's just simple. I want to be able to keep only the lines that are important, that sort of lend more to the story or lend more to the image without overloading, because I tend to get so hung up on details, and I feel like just art in general for me is a good way to practice not doing that, because I do that just in everything I do in my life. And a lot of times I do waste a lot of time doing that, like, because I can't get past tiny details that later on I'm like, that wasn't important at all. I didn't have to worry about the angle that this one book is on the bookcase. None of that mattered. But I feel like sometimes I stop or stop myself from doing things because I'm not gonna be able to figure out those details, and I just don't do it, which is not a good reason. Okay, so I have one character down, and I guess I can work on the details of her later. And she's gonna be, let me do some quick colors. I don't know if I should keep that palette or not. Let me, this is the palette I like to use. Harsh. I'm gonna use something that's, yeah, there we go. Remember. Oh, that's right. Did I pick color is? Overlay, nope. And one of these, it's gonna do what I want, because I don't want it to multiply. So let's just do Uniburn, I think. It's a good. I know that dress pattern has a name. Good on that. Good on that pattern. I don't know it. That's not straw colored. Close enough for now. It's just to get a general sense of where it's gonna go. To draw them barefoot or not? Maybe. No, I think I'll give them like nice frilly socks. I mean, you can't see them because the skirt's covering them. But they will be somewhat frillier. Oh, that's right. She's supposed to be holding a cup. Can't believe I forgot that. Oh, yikes! That's right. No. Okay. So that's one. Actually, let me. So linear burn kind of darken the line art a lot. Just do like that. Oh, that's better. That's one, and I want to do. I want to do one of them lying down, but I'm trying to see. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna draw her. Sort of turn around. So that she's sort of looking back. Again, I have to reference their names because I'm terrible with my own. This is gonna be Celeste. And I have to think, what would Celeste wear on a picnic? Perspectives of love. There we go. Remember, she wears glasses. Are they circular? Oh, they're kind of like ovalish. And then I could draw her with her shoulder here. Ooh, that's a difficult brain puzzle right now. Trying to figure out what someone looks like when they're turned around like this with their legs sort of bent. What do I do? Like that. Trying to hold on. I can't figure out the camera angle. Okay. They're turned and their legs are like folded behind them, and so you're only seeing the feet. I think this is close enough. I may have to take a couple reference photos, but there's gonna be back, and her other arm is here. Just because of how she dressed, she's definitely gonna be wearing something nice and light and airy. a little larger here for the perspective. I think I'm gonna draw that after effect. Okay, here we go. I would love to find out more about her ensemble here and to see if she would have like a bow on the back. But for Magical Girl's sake, she's gonna have a bow on the back. Just have to. How do I approach color theory when the character you're drawing coloring is a person of color? No, that's a perfectly reasonable question. And that's something that I'm still trying to sort of figure out, mainly because I normally don't draw people of color unless it's part of a group. And in that point, usually the illustrations that I've done it with people of color have had a lot of color just in general. Just, you know, it tends to be a much more colorful composition. It's not very simple. It's not focused on just that one character. It's usually focused on many characters. So at that point, usually for me, I tend to go with bright, saturated colors. So at that point, skin color is not something that I consider as part of the color composition. It's just an additional color added. So everybody else's skin tone sort of like try to go with something more natural. But in this case, usually what I tend to do, and the way I'm going to approach it is I'm going to try to go initially with natural colors, something as close to the person's, and persons is in plural because all three characters here have different skin tones and there's a range. But I'm going to try to approach it natural first and then sort of play with the saturation of all the colors of the composition. Because once you have those colors down, and once you have all the colors down, then you can sort of figure out whether it works or not, whether maybe you need more muted colors, more faded colors. And that also sort of plays into the style of the final piece. If you want something that looks like a vintage print, you're going to go with colors that are more closely to this, and in this case they sort of look a little faded and a little more yellowish, so may add like a couple of yellow filters just so that I have the colors that I'm going to use in the final composition, and just to sort of like show what I did here. And I don't know, no, it doesn't sound it. When I was doing this illustration and when I wanted to sort of decide on what color composition I was going to go with as the final color composition, I actually did various different versions of it, and that's something that's one of those things that I did learn at school that I carried on. And you basically do multiple versions. You do your initial version with the colors that just make sense to you. Excuse me. And then after that, you do different edits and different versions with either colors that you didn't think to use before or colors that maybe something looks a little off, you want to push it. And then ideally, once you've sort of explored what options there are, you can sort of arrive to something that not only looks visually interesting and appealing, but something that also fits the character. Because once you start playing with the saturation of all the other colors, and whether or not you're going to mute all the other colors or make them look faded, the color itself that you use for the skin tone doesn't necessarily matter as much as the entire colors chosen for the composition, because sort of all the colors are balanced themselves together in that initial feel and that the setting that you create by the tones that you use will give you that visual information. This is a darker skin tone. And then with that, there's more things you can consider. Some people of darker skin tone will have a more reddish tone to their skin tone as opposed to a more bluish tone for some other people. So you sort of go around that color wheel and try to figure out initially what colors are supposed to be there, and then you mess with them to try to see, okay, what's the general tone of the piece, especially if you're going with something like a very dark and brooding scene and something that's supposed to be dark. You have to consider how that, like, how is lighting going to play off a person of color skin tone, because at that point you have to consider what's the color of the light being used. So, and then at that point, that's what's highlighting and giving you that information, like, oh, this person is of darker skin tone than this other person in the scene. It's not necessarily the skin tone itself that plays more of a part, but it's the entire scene that plays a part in which color you're going to pick. So in this case, I'm really, and this is something that I've gotten into doing recently, is just doing a very light color path of the colors that are supposed to be in the scene. And then I go and I edit them to be more cohesive, because a lot of the times the colors individually, like the colors for this character here may make sense, but once I start adding the colors for the other ones, it kind of looks off. But another thing that helps is just starting with a palette of the colors in the range that you want to start. So for me, I tend to start, I like this Flourish palette on Procreate. Let me pull it here aside. I really do like these colors. They're very poppy, they're very bright, very saturated. So I try to pick colors that are sort of in that same range. And then from there I go, I'm like, do I want them a little muted? Do I want them to have like another hue on top of it? Like maybe I'll put yellow on it after and see how that looks. But then also, for example, like I'll use paper overlays and texture overlays if I want it to really look like a vintage postcard. And that also affects color. So sometimes after that, I'm like, you know what, this color doesn't work, and I'll have to change it. Because like then at that point, you're not color picking directly from that person's skin tone. That usually doesn't work for the final piece. It may work initially when you're first like laying things out and sort of figuring out what everything is going to look like, but it usually doesn't carry over to that final piece. Now, because I know her personally, I know this picture sort of makes her skin tone look a lot lighter than I remember it to be, but I also have terrible memory. So I'm not going to go by that. I'm going to go by this. And I see her skin tone is like a medium, little bit on the lighter side, but a sort of a mid-range between the three characters. So I'm going to go with that. And then also shading, all that stuff plays into the final color selection. But the best thing to do is, one, reference other people's compositions. There's nothing wrong with looking at other artists and seeing how they've achieved a look or a tone of a skin tone and saying, oh, hey, like I like this color palette, right? And then referencing that color palette when you create your stuff and when you're looking for the final look of your stuff. There's also no shame in sort of like trying and maybe pushing it, like maybe make it look darker, make it look lighter, see what sort of lands you to something closer, something that is truer to the tone, but also visually appealing when it comes to the entire setting of the piece. If I wanted to do something realistic, I would, right? But in this case, I'm not. I'm going for something soft, something, I guess minimalist in that sense. When it comes to the color choice, like I'm not gonna go in detail and shade everything. I'm not. I'm not gonna get as detailed as these drawings are. I'm gonna go with simple colors, probably minimal shading. So I want something that sort of starts off as a, not necessarily a shade or a highlight, but as sort of as a mid-range tone. And I hope that answered the question. And if not, you know, let me know if you want more clarification on any one specific part. Try to find a skin tone that's a little more olivey for her. is one of those things that I do like about Procreate. I mean, you do get this with all the coloring and painting, but being able to like really compare the color that you currently have and the when you previously chose it, it helps a lot. But yeah, skin tone is never going to be one tone, especially like for example in here, if I'm going to use her or draw her with like sheer fabric over her, it's going to have an effect on the color of her skin. You have to, the best thing to do is just reference photos and copy that first and see how that works with the final piece. I want her to wear, what do I want her to wear? I think I'll have her wearing something a little more pink to sort of complement her hair. And that's another thing too, limiting your palette to as few colors in a composition will help bring it together regardless of the different skin tones that are being used in multiple characters. So if I limit myself to, you know, 3 or 4 colors in the palette here, it'll still look and hold like as a full piece as opposed to just different mismatched parts being put together. So for example, like I'm gonna pick a gray similar to that cup here for her hair. Not the same one, but something close. I'm actually gonna make this brighter yellow because I want something closer to that for, it's gonna be her glasses later because I'll probably do that. Awesome, great. But yeah, I'll probably do that directly with that. See, this is one of those things that I'm like debating on whether I want to continue using Restream for streaming, just because I don't get audio feedback on chat messages and notifications. So if I do take a long time to answer your questions, I will see it eventually. I have to, like, I forget sometimes to check back on the chat. Okay, no, I did. I'll have to figure out her feet situation right now because I know this is a little messy. But I think it's a little closer to. Oh, I didn't realize I put these on somewhere. Let's just merge these. Come on. And then I'll do. Today I'm gonna push it. I'll push it to 10:30. Secret long stream today. Push it to 10:30, but I'm gonna take a quick break in a little bit because I do have to have laundry to go pick up. Let's do Calliope. I think for her, I want her to be maybe her head a little more cocked to the side. It's just, this really takes me back because I used to draw my friends a lot when I was in high school, and I had little characters for them, and it's I don't throw away my things. I'm a bit of a pack rat. So every once in a while, especially recently when it just moved now in November, and when I was sort of moving and in storing my sketchbooks and figure out where things were gonna go, finding those drawings, I'm like, oh my God. I found all the drawings that I had made of my classmates, my best friends, and it takes me back. I hope some of them still have them. Um, I used to draw comics, which, funnily enough, I think if they were seen now, probably cause them some trouble. Not because of the like it's anything illegal or anything, but it's it's those kind of things that nowadays raise red flags, right? Lots of weapons. I think I had an entire list of ways me and our friends would die. In like very, I know it seems so dark talking about it, but this is like the stuff we talked about when we were. This is high school. This is high school. This is not like elementary school or anything like that. We just, we were all playing violent video games by then, and it was sort of like just like a comical sense. And what did it remind like kind of like Happy Tree Friends, right? Something like exaggerated and silly and just I don't know. I had a very dark sense of humor. So did my friends. So this was something that was all up our alleys, and everybody sort of pitched in on the ideas. And oh my God, so and so should go like this, and so and so should go like that. That was like the first thing that I found, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if they would find it. But at the same time, I realized I'm like, well, you can't do that now. If any of those jokes, or if I had drawn any of those things in this day and age, I would probably have been removed from the school. I think. Kind of sad that that sort of creative expression is not, or has to be like filtered and censored in a way, because it's not all, doesn't all come from a place of hate or maliciousness. It's just like exploration. I guess you start to learn more about just mortality overall, and you explore those topics at that age. Sometimes in ways that just adults don't get it, you know. Should have made them all looking. I need to get more ideas of what like old school vintage picnic outfits look like. Because I feel like Melody is sort of there, but Celeste is not, and neither is Kelly. But maybe. See if I can pick some references real quick. Ooh, yeah, something like that. Mm. Hello? It's weird. So I started doing that before. And I thought maybe it would go away when I changed the nib, where it kind of gets stuck and no longer processes my hard lines as hard and just gives me soft, squishy lines. Then if I put, oh, I'm gonna have to fix that angle, but yeah, something like that. Guess with this angle, her arm wouldn't be there. This arm would be a little longer. And those fingers are gonna have to be fixed. I guess her hair here probably be better to have it covering. Cheat! I'm cheating! I'm cheating. I hide it with the hair. Very beginner move. I had the part that you don't want to draw with something else. But her character just have her hair, like, where's her hair? Like, definitely in the front. Just like her, so she put some of her hair there in the front. Okay, so, not there. And where's my reference? I know that one of the things from the story, and I guess an element of the character is skating. I don't know if Calliope does or not. Rollerblading. Not sure if I should draw our skates. Seeing angles sort of like weirding me out. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. And this is actually going to be a lined pattern top with a belt and a solid skirt. I'm just drawing those lines to help me figure out like how the dress folds go, which I'm sure I'm wrong, but now that I sort of figured out where the characters are going to be and placed, Now I can actually look for references on how those dresses are gonna lay. Not too much, because again, I do want it to be simple. It's supposed to be something quick, but all right, let's separate this. And let's group this one. And let's group. No. Let's group that. See, for example, I know her hair is much darker than this purple. But because the rest of the images, or the rest of the characters are, and just I guess the rest of the scene is going to be in a much lighter color. I don't want to go too dark on this hair. Yeah, this is too dark. It's going to darken the entire thing. I need something lighter for her hair, just for this. Is it still going to look dark in contrast to the rest of the colors chosen? Just because she's got that purple hair. Ooh, got this trifecta right here with her yellow dress. Look at these colors, how they pop. Poppity pop. There, something. Just want to give her yellow. She's gonna be wearing pink, but I do need to figure out a different dress for something more like of the times. But what time? Which times are we on? I don't know what times these are. Let's see. 1960s. I don't know my fashion eras. Yes. Casual. Chill. Lots of belts I'm seeing. Casual. Casual. All right. Lots of strong necklines here. I don't even know if I'm using the right terminology. Guess I could. It's a trick. Guess I could give her something. A little more of a flare. Well, I guess I would. Come on, Gabby. You know gravity. She could still have a bow. I guess patterns. Ooh, a sad bow. Oh, that would have been cute too. Yeah, that cute little blue dress. I guess I kind of missed out on this position to sort of give her like a neck scarf. Can't do that. Not like that. Ooh, but you know what? I can give her a head one. Little head bow. What's that? Yeah. Oh yeah. Hairbands were in. That's 1 foot. And there's the other one. So let's
Alright, let's bring that beat back.
yeah, let's bring this beat back. Definitely gonna have to work on this this part here, because I feel like if I'm not careful, it's gonna look like her body's just completely contorted, which it really does look like right now. So, but at least the legs are there. I got them. All right, so it's time for a break. Before I move on to lining. I will be back. I shall. All right. Here we go. So I hope that was nice. To have the replay video there instead of just a plain thing. Yeah. All right. So I did leave it at me wanting to find reference. Dress sitting reference. Ooh, I didn't consider that. Okay. So let me actually select. Perfect. I drew over the disliner. Okay. Let me I think I could do. No, that doesn't work. There's no contrast. Hello? Can I? There we go. There's no contrast editing. In Procreate, unfortunately. Let's see. There's no around it. We'll just have to. Hold on now. What's happening here? Flatten. There we go. All right. That's as far as I'm going because I need to know how her back is going to behave when she sits down. Oh, wow. These are, I have to share this. I have to share this. I'm looking for, I literally just Googled dress sitting reference. No, that's not it. What am I grabbing here? Here we go. I'm gonna share this a little bit more blown up because it's really cool. So, hold on, showing wrong. Make sure all of this is in one browser window and the references in this window. Here we go. Here. So these are really cool. Old-timey plates. Whoa now. Whoa now. Calm down. There's old school nudity. Unintended nudes. Okay. Yeah, but that's, I mean, I guess that was interesting. Movement. Just sit down. Stop moving. Let's see if I can find. Let's just put the word behind that there. Behind. See if that gets me closer. Ish. This is literally the pose that I'm going for. But the back. Let's see if this is, what is this? Dreams Time? Never heard of this website before. Lots of stock images. Not my stock image, no. No. Because I'm going to have my child sit and pose. Which, believe it or not, one of the benefits of having children, if you're considering a child, please add this to your list of positives, which is you can pose them, use them for drawing reference. Especially if you need to do hands and you can't look at your hand, you can always pose your child. All right, found another page of reference packs. So let's see if this gets me closer. Not really. Sort of. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to go old school here. Probably what I should have done from the beginning, which is draw a figure outline and get I see what's happening here. So these legs are completely disconnected from her body, which is a problem. They should be connected. So let's try to solve this. Because I'm still trying to go sort of like in this angle, right? And this hip is still, I want it to be angled higher. And it's going to have to be a little bit more forward. Than the rest of the body. Okay, so if she's doing that, she can't do her legs up high. That would make her have her legs out to the side. So, and let me just sort of do that pose real quick. I'm gonna do this, and I'm turning sideways. I'm looking back. Ooh, change color. Something disconnected, I feel like. Sounds like. Yeah, no? Let's see. Felt like I hit something. Okay. So. I may have to redraw this entire thing. Here we go. I think that hand is still in a good position. But this hip is actually going to have to be turned out to the side here and turn inward here. And the butt is essentially here for this to work. And from my own physical moving around. So we have one here and one here. I have legs coming here, and then this leg has to be sort of back there. And then lead off to the side here. And this leg, the foot still can't be planted. It has to be sideways. Alright, hold on, let's see. I have like my cat's thing here. Oh no, I can't. It can be planted. Actually, it has to be angled downward. Should be a little more that way. And then she could have this arm there. Okay. That makes more sense. And dress-wise, which is very important because that dress is going to sort of guide that visual angle. I guess the lines of that dress are going to guide that. So kind of want the skirt to be I know it looks like a jumble of lines right now, but I'm seeing them. So I'm actually gonna delete that. And let's look at her. My God, those earrings. Oh, oops. I made them bigger at the top, smaller at the... Too many details to think of right now. All right. Hold on, I'm forgetting I'm not trying to do the final lines right now. This is... I'm redrawing this. Not bad. Not bad if I do say so myself. Not gonna be able to keep an outfit that looks like that, but I keeping? Yeah, I'm doing the ball. I'll do a bow. Oh, shoot. I should have kept the older one because I really like how the hand had come out. Wait a second. I sort of did because I recorded the video. Let's see the video. Oh, okay. Ta-da. That was it. That doesn't look right. Sock. Okay, now that that's sort of all together. Hello? Hello? Okay, now that that's sort of all together, I'm going to keep those colors there, even though they don't match up, but it's just like a reference for me. I'm going to delete that. Now I get to move them around and figure out sort of like their final placement. I know I had done those lines there. I gotta remove them. Have to make sure her face is, there we go, around the same size as her. Maybe I can have a nice little picnic blanket. Here at the bottom. All right, this music is starting to get to my nerves because it's very repetitive. Let's see. Oh, I see what they did. Cheeky, cheeky pretzels. Oh, couldn't find any tracks to play based on my current filters because I have no vocal tracks on. Straight chill. It's a little loud, huh? Hope not. Removing one headphone because hurts the ear. Okay. If I do something like this. Maybe nice little cake slice. Oh, cake slices. Should be, there we go. And this angle, so you can see the filling. I think, I know I'm drawing them kind of silly looking here. But I'm hoping these are going to be very simple, just like colored shapes. As opposed to outlined pieces. And I'm hoping to maybe do a nice little checkered blanket. Little stars everywhere. And trying to tie it in because her hair color is going to be very, like, it pops so much in contrast to everything else. So maybe I'll do her bow here in that color. Or maybe I'll do, that's right, I was going to give her a hairband. Maybe her hairband can be in that color. Oh, that'd be a little too obvious. I'm trying to match her hair. I think this bow. Why did this go back down? There we go. I guess I can make that bow and then just have some of the trim detail here. And some of these items be purple. And ooh, we could give it a little purple necklace there. I may actually have to lighten her hair a little bit. And what else? Okay, so I want to keep this, and this is something that I do a lot in Procreate. I want to keep the original layers and the original file details, but I don't want to keep all those layers as I'm working on the final piece. So, which is something I'm very used to doing. Is now I flatten that, And the good thing is I still keep in the file the original time-lapse info without losing the original layer. So I think I'm gonna jump straight into, believe it or not, I'm gonna jump straight into colors. And I'm gonna try to stick to this palette. I'm gonna try to do very textured, very pencil heavy base here. And the reason why I'm coloring behind where the tea kettle would be and all that stuff would be is because if I'm using this textured brush, it's for all the colors, it is going to shine through. And I want it to come through for the other colors because it'll give it nice depth and layer. Just adding little hints at grass hints. Do I want to use similar composition elements as that reference picture? Maybe. I'm glad you asked. Yes. Similar, maybe, I don't, no, not really. Let's go for something, actually. These can be layer plants here in the background. So they're in this kind of like a little nook surrounded by pretty little bushes. And when I do this, remember I said I want to try to keep colors that are as close to in group, try to keep stuff in the same color palette. So I will mix my colors directly on the canvas with the other colors that are available to achieve that. Like so. I use that green from the grass for that. All right, we're almost getting to 11. I don't want to keep it up too late because I do have stuff that I do need to, personal stuff that I need to get to. But I hope you've enjoyed this super secret, special, extended stream that I wasn't planning at all. But I got too carried away with my drawings, so I couldn't stop. I promise not to make it a habit of it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. A little bit of a yellow hue. That didn't work. Let's get close to that. I'm gonna have to use that, but it could be close. works. That's a nice little layer. I'm very, very messy here. Is this going to be my final concept? Maybe, maybe not. I'm trying to go for quick and relaxed. So it's very likely going to be my last one. We'll see. No, this is going to be another manatee piece. I'm just going to be like, screw it, I don't like it. I'll do it all over again. I hope not. You know what? I did so much less on that side. Hold on. What am I doing here? Oh, I don't know if you've noticed. I'm not working in different layers here. This is all going to be on the same layer because I gotta commit. There we go. All right. I'm gonna use some of this green to make more grassy effects here. Get a smaller brush. I don't want to pass that line. That line's like my limit. That's the smallest brush I'll use, and I'll try to keep those strokes in the front because if I get smaller, it'll look more like too much added detail and it won't look cohesive. So use that as little highlights here. See if I can get, whoa, too close. See if I can get brighter than that. Yeah, that's good. Keep those highlights only to the areas that are in the midground and the foreground. Look, background is somewhat done. Maybe a little bit here. Not too much. Sky. Let's do like a pale, like a pepper. Should I have a brush for this? Where's my filler? Here we go. Whoa, too dark, too dark. What am I doing? That's crazy. Not sure where I'm going for there. That's gonna change. But I wanted something behind when I do the lines here for the characters, because that's what's coming up next. Oh, well, maybe let's do some teensy wincy flowers or something. Gently, some gentle flowers. Yes? Hello? Okay, let's go for... I'm actually gonna... I don't want... where's my liner? I don't know if I want that dark black. I may go with something closer to purple, which is what I tend to do. I don't want dark colors. There we go. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I think I need... more streamline. Not a lot, not a ton. I don't like it. It's too much. But also, I need this because this way you're able to see what I'm doing. No, not like that. No. Just put it there. So that way I'm able to turn around like this and you can still see. Miami, I'm telling you, they're crazy. You can't hear, but at least I hope you can't hear, but it's kind of wild outside. You know what? I need darker lines for me to reference. There we go. Still a little bit of a detail that I didn't like. Well, let me remove a little bit of the tilt on this. Just a skosh. You know what? I think that line might actually be color. And this is the part that I tend to find difficult from time to time, is which of my original lines I want to keep. And then a lot of times what I do is I will create a new layer if I'm worried about one specific line, which I'll merge down when I feel confident. with it. Like in this case. Oh, that's actually good. I'm noticing some lag, and I'm sure that has to do with maybe the brush settings. Because I don't get that with my regular one. You see? Hi. Whoa. No, that's much faster. That made a bit of a difference. Hmm. Sometimes I hold my breath while I'm drawing a line, and I don't realize it. Except this time, because, you know, my lungs started to hurt. Okay. Simple lines. It's kind of what I like. All right, it's 11. Thank you, everybody that came by and stopped by and chatted. I appreciate it. Loved it. I'm going to keep on working on this. Not on stream, but definitely at the next stream. I'll do a replay like I did today of what was done so that, you know, you're caught up. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this. Really like it, but, you know, other stuff to do. So, thanks.